好的，麻烦球员停止练习，谢谢。
Hello， 现场线上的球迷朋友们，大家好，我是李一博 ，P.LEAGUE， 欢迎大家呢来到我们 P.LEAGUE 桃园璞园领航员的主场。那今天呢是我们 Poke Palace 的活动主题月，很开心呢大家来到我们现场支持球赛。那祝福大家连假愉快，最重要的呢是祝福我们所有的小朋友、大朋友儿童节快乐，永远呢开心、健康、平安。 今天我们要一起来迎战来访客队台北富邦勇士。那现场所有的小朋友、大朋友，放下你的食物，放下你的手机。如果你准备好的话，我要听到一个最大的尖叫声。好的，精彩的比赛即将开始，谢谢大家。
乘客晚安，这里是 Palace Crew 机组人员米卡的广播。今晚我们即将要对战的是台北富邦勇士，让我们一起拿出热情，尽情呐喊加油！也祝大家儿童节快乐！最后感谢你们选择搭乘桃园璞园领航员班机。
让我们欢迎 Palace Crew 与今天的特别来宾元气小子跟大圣，欢迎。
To the music, sing oh yeah oh. Just move those left feet. Go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it. Sing oh yeah oh. Show the world you got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do. Prove to them you got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah yeah, I'm better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. I bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, yeah.
掌声送给热情又有活力的 Palace Crew， 还有我们律动感十足的元气小子，以及我们非常淡定，目前可能还在复健的大圣，谢谢你们。而精彩的开场演出结束之后，马上要来为各位介绍本场是两支对战球队所有登录球员名单。首先要来为各位介绍是今天来访客队台北富邦勇士登录球员名单。台北富邦勇士球衣背号0号赖廷恩。 那么以球衣背号8号周桂宇， 绝备号12号 Number 12林志杰 ，Number 13 13号林梦学。 Number 14， 绝备号14号蔡文成。Number 15， 绝备号15号谢宗荣。Number 23 23号 Brandon Smart 石伯恩。Number 24 24号简廷照。为各位介绍台北富邦勇士本场次登陆先发5人名单。Number 3， 绝备号3号张宗宪。Number 11， 绝备号11号洪凯杰。 Number 17绝备号17号 Michael Singletary 辛特利 Number 21 21号曾祥军 Number 32绝备号32号 Urazizov 塞瑟夫台北富邦勇士总教练许晋哲、助理教练吴永仁、江志正、魏伟、林伟浩以及体能教练郑维轩，领队蔡成儒。
制空战略反复模拟。 雷达搜索，洞悉对手极限速度，撕裂防线，果决出手，轰炸篮筐，奋力摇起我们持续的飞翔，引擎点燃，全速起飞，领航员 ready for take off。 球员名单：球衣背后1号空中新势力领航大门神，篮板先知 D.N.D。我们130公分，28公斤，大有国小2年级的冷若琳小朋友，欢迎您。球衣背号6号。 杀手回来到，最好别来闹。冠大了没啦？冠大有！以及我们130公分、26公斤，西门国小2年级翁凯佑小朋友，欢迎他们。球衣背号00，空中快递拆弹高手，飞扣后卫陈宇瑞。 以及我们身高116公分、20公斤、3x3非营利幼儿园大有分班大班的潘轩瑞小朋友，球衣背号15号，你的超跑坦克3分移动炮台，砰砰陈冠全。 跟我们108公分、17公斤，宜家幼儿园小班方子浩小朋友，欢迎你们。球衣背号21号，成为你最有力的后盾，攻守兼具，德州球王陈立焕。 以及我们105公分、15公斤，快乐斑比幼儿园小班的纪威元小朋友。 尖叫声给到他们。球衣背号27号，3分流星雨，篮球情人，状元郎马耀张镇亚。和我们110公分、18公斤，金国非营利幼儿园大有分校中班吴佩欣小朋友。 球衣背号22号， 领航招牌大锁 Triple H 捍卫战士大汉黄宏汉，以及我们今天生日150公分32公斤新国国小6年级的曾宇成小朋友，欢迎你，祝你生日快乐！球衣背号4号。 爱的弓箭手3分射进你的心，爱神 Chef Ayers， 以及我们身高120公分19公斤清溪国小2年级庄成浩小朋友。Starting Five 先发5人名单，球衣背号42号 Number 42。 领航暴徒，燃烧你的狂 ，Jason Washburn， 以及我们150公分40公斤新泰国小5年级吴玉贤小朋友，球背号30号，控球魔术师神奇小白白耀成，以及我们身高121公分，体重22公斤。 维尔幼儿园大班吴奥利小朋友，欢迎！球衣背号25号，领航不倒翁，你的护国神阵雷。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Welcome to the last edition of PLG Tuesday Night Basketball. It's been the case since their first matchup on Christmas Day, the Taipei Fubon Braves and the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots as the second and third place teams, giving us, shall we say, almost 8 games of playoff preview, as in the Plus League. The top 4 out of 6 teams make it to the playoffs. First playing the 4th place team, second playing the 3rd, of course.
体重63公斤，大中国小5年级曾慈慧小朋友，欢迎你们！儿童节快乐！
As part of the extended weekend, it also includes International Children's Day here in Taipei, Taiwan, and various parts of the other places around the world. There's the standings where the New Taipei Kings still at number 1 with 23 wins and 8 losses. They have already clinched a playoff spot. The Braves are closing in on reaching that goal at 19 and 11. Pilots at 3rd, as mentioned, but they've seen their spot at 3rd place fall quite a bit. The Dreamers have came up for 4th place, Lioneers at 5th, and Steelers at 6th. The Lioneers taking a victory over the Kings in the last game, and so have the Steelers against the Dreamers. It's Xiaohu Hu Jingqi and Cai Bao Cai Jingjing on the Mandarin broadcast. 球迷朋友们，你找到了 Plus 官方的英文转播，要看小胡跟情景，哇，对聊什么呢？你就要看中文转播喽。但谢谢你的收看，记得我们的转播都要按赞。I'm Ryan Chen, solo this evening on the English side, taking care of the broadcast and maybe any questions you might have about Plus League basketball. As mentioned, these two teams are kind of headed in opposite directions in a sense, even though they've been the 2nd and 3rd place teams the whole time. Pilots currently undergoing a 7-game losing streak, and don't want to jinx them, but an 8th would tie the league record of most consecutive losses. More concerning as well is they only have 1 win in 11 games, and that was against the Braves and by a low margin. 7 of those 10 losses by single digits, and right now everybody on the Pilots squad is searching for answers, including number 69 Lu Jingxiang, or Justin, shaving his head like he was back in high school days. Very proud of wearing his hair longer in preparation for his military service. But it's Lee Jiakang, who we spoke with in the pregame, moved to a starting role 3 games ago, excuse me. This would be his 4th start in a row, but his minutes played has been going down in every game from 35 to 11 to on Saturday just 5. He definitely started things off strong with a 16-point performance in Kaohsiung as the starter in a close game. The Pilots looked really down from the very beginning of the game, but Lee Jiakang was pretty much the biggest bright spot. This was in fact his first game played of the 3rd season here in the Plus League, his 2nd season with the team. The 24-year-old from Miaoli County and nearby Guoli Tida or NTSU University.
我觉得其实守到每个顶尖球员，一定都会被他们得分。但是我是用把每一球都守住的态度来面对他们，对吧？因为其实我前面其实没有太多的机会，然后想到就是这几场教练给我机会，然后我就想说那就要用全力以赴的态度，然后来面对每一场比赛。我觉得其实，在上一场对国王的时候，我觉得我们一开始有表现出我们开季前的那个态度跟应有的表现，但是在最后第4节的时候，其实我们的攻防两端专注度有点下降，所以才被追上来。但我觉得今天面对富邦勇士的时候，我觉得只要一开赛，我们的攻防两端展现出侵略性，然后保持48分钟的比赛，我觉得我们应该会有好的结果。
Jackie Lee Jiakang, or as he's known locally as Sid the Sloth? Sid the Sloth from Ice Age is saying that he being complimented by Jeremy for playing hard every possession, partly because he didn't have the chances before, but the youngster wants to show off the attitude and the effort. And that was asked in the second question, where the team as a whole had a much more proactive and competitive edge against the Kings that they had from the beginning of the season, but their focus was lost toward the end of the game and was forced to overtime, and they lost in overtime. So they want to come out with an aggressive stance and aggressive attitude. And on the other side, another youngster. It is number 24, Jane Tingzao, who's 25 years old. Didn't think that through, huh? Out of Jianxing University, also in Taoyuan. Is a rookie, even surpassing the playing time and expectations of maybe his teammate Chen Pauian, who was selected 2nd overall. But Jian Tingzao, especially after East Asia Super League competition, has come back with a whole different attitude, says the coaching staff. He's been a real bright spot for the Braves, and a team that's certainly preparing for life after some of their veterans eventually part ways with the team. Jian Tingzao spent time in the United States as a high school player before returning, having to rehab pretty serious left knee injury. And he's in fact getting playing time ahead of some of the fellow Braves teammates who have even more seniority than him.
表现算是差强人意吧，因为其实还有很多做不好的地方，像是防守，然后进攻的选择性。那当然第1年刚上来，很多防守的强度，还有比赛节奏都是需要去重新适应的。那球场上的表现，我想应该就是练球的东西，把它呈现在比赛中这样。其实也没有，但是就是很多不同其他支球队的学长们，像后卫群这些，像是凯燕或是九，甚至是苏豪，他们身上有很多值得我学习的地方，或者是一些进攻技巧。
Jian Tingzao, or TJ, actually being modest, saying that there's also things that he needs to improve on as well, including defense and some choices with the basketball, as he sometimes will play a point guard for the Braves. Want to take what he can do from practice out under the hardwood. And asks in the second question, are there any other guards around the league that he admires and appreciates? He pointed out former Brave in Joseph Lin and Li Kayan, the deadly duo in nearby New Taipei. Pauian will be the crew chief of tonight's officiating staff. As we bring you the Braves starting five from left to right, it's Jet, Zhang Dongxian, KJ Hong Kai-jie, Michael Singletary, Jack Zheng Xiangjun, and Igor Zaisev. And the pilots, they're switching things up. Ethan Pauian is getting the second start of the season, along with Jackie Li Jiakang, Wu Junxiang, Ken Lingzhen, and Jason Washburn will be getting the start as well. Justin Wu Junxiang, his 27th start of the game. That would be only second in the team behind number 28 Si Jingyao, who has started 28 games of the season, but he is not registered once again. The veteran may be taking some rotation days off. Pilots in their orange pinstripe jerseys and the Braves in their light blue alternative colors, as Lingzhen getting a down screen, now driving, trying to fight through some contact. But the referee say good defense by number 21, Zheng Xiangjun. A little backdoor as Zheng Xiangjun will get the lay-in. Little back screen, and I think the assist to number 11, KJ. Down low to Jason Washburn. He'll try with the right hand, but it bounces out. Washburn making his 5th game start, as Zaisev tries to go to work on Lingzhen, but forced into a miss. Washburn coming off the bench 13 times on the season, but is the Pilots' leading scorer at 20.8 points per game. Ethan going to the mid-range, and there will be a whistle on the play. Zaisev puts his hands up. Was in a little bit of foul trouble in the Saturday game against the Dreamers early, but like a lot of veteran players, knows how to stay under control. Pauian almost airballed it. Since it's Children's Day, let's shout out some of the schools that the players came from. Pauian out of Dongsan High School. A rarity in the Plus League. He goes 1 for 2 from the line, getting the Pilot scoring started. On the other side, the Pilots have Jackie Li Jiakang guarding Singletary as they do another down screen, back screen, shall we say. And Singletary dribbles it out of bounds. Now, as mentioned, both teams in hard-fought battles on a Saturday, both as the road team. The Braves out-rebounding the Dreamers 62-44. One of the big keys to that game, including Zaisev pulling down 19 and Singletary grabbing 10. In fact, 11 Braves were getting rebounds. Jackie left open, fires away, and he downs the first three-point attempt by the Pilots. That's been a struggle for them, especially in the post-Lunar New Year stretch of the competition. On the season, they are a 30% three-point shooting team. Singletary puts it up, and an air ball, though not exactly the cleanest landing space. Though, and the referees probably would point out he was fading away. Justin will get a touch up top over to Ethan, who seems to always stumble right around just left of the top of the circle. Washburn didn't put the ball down fast enough, and another turnover. Jackie Li Jiakang. Having played last year with the Pilots. He had to, of course, rotate a lot more minutes with other teammates. Was a 24% three-point shooter on 7 of 29. Zheng Xiangjun, little jump pass to Zaitsev, right back to Zheng Xiangjun. He'll try from 3. It's good, as a little double foul between Jackie and Singletary is called, battling for the rebound. And the referee's probably getting an earful for both the Braves and the Pilots. So it's Jackie trying to face guard with the rebound. A little bit of extra stuff after. That makes it 2 Braves team fouls to 1 on the Pilots. Singletary still giving Jackie a little bit of space as he'll get it back from Justin. Teams are guarding number 69 much more tightly as the leading local scorer. Pilots get bailed out a little bit by a kick ball there. Zheng Xiangjun returning back from having a dislocated thumb injury right here in Taoyuan. This is his 3rd game played since recovering from that injury. Chen dribbling right, slipping through and getting the reverse layup through the Braves defense. Chen scoring for the first time on the game. In fact, taking more of the starter opportunities over veteran Pompom Senguanchen, who's not started at all. Loose ball on the floor, Zaitsev in the middle, popping in the legs, and the referees finally whistle. Get another look at Chen getting a step on Singletary and maneuvering through Hong Kai-jie as well. He had the very fancy fake handoff and Euro step last year against the Lioneers, where he had a season-high 12 points. It was a bright spot despite the Pilots losing. A little bit of errant pass, but Singletary recovers. Zheng Xiangjun not exactly on the same page as KJ puts it up wildly. Pilots now with a 6-5 lead. Justin open for 3. He takes advantage. Wu Jingxiang 0 for 5 on a Saturday and was an 0 for down in Kaohsiung shooting the 3 ball as well. Good start for him and a good sign if you're a Pilots fan. It's a pretty well attended game here in Taoyuan. We have one more day off as a little bit of that home crowd and that pressure leading to another Braves turnover on the path of Lu Jingxiang. Getting his scoring night started. Ethan passing to Chen, who almost turned it over and almost recovered it to an open spot behind the back. Incredible, but missed. Jason Washburn could not finish. Oh, what could have been? Singletary going with power. A little floater. Got his own board back, putting it back up, and another miss. There's Singletary using the right hand to score. Sticking with it, Michael Singletary, maybe not the tallest import in the Plus League, certainly far from it at 198, but he's a very good rebounder. Let's get a slight reset as Chen will try from the left corner short. And Mike will start the break. Zheng Xiangjun running into contact there. Not exactly the smartest use of spacing. A little 4-on-3. Washburn, trapped by 2, will put it up and get the bounce. The Pilots have been struggling in first quarters. On the season, they're the lowest first quarter scoring team at 21 points. But there's a made jumper. Zhang Zongxian. Haven't said his name hardly at all in the start of the game. Washington's got the mismatch, but Ethan choosing to drive. Kick out to Jackie. He'll try again, and all net. I do not think he will just play 5 minutes on the game. 3 for 3, Pilots 3-point shooting start as Jet fouled on the drive. I think they'll take it out of the sidelines. And with 5 minutes, 38 seconds left on the clock, Pilots off to a strong start, trying to break a losing streak, hosting the 2-time repeat champion Braves in their building. We'll be right back.
父女档、父子档、母女档、母子档都可以。等一下出现在荧幕，来了，亲一下，
亲一下，给爸爸亲一下。哇哇！
爸爸注意一下小朋友的感受哈。
爸爸亲一个，耶！要谢谢爸爸，哎。
来了，母女档。
哇，妈妈好漂亮，妈妈亲一个。掌声鼓励。Hello。
不行哈，不行啊！
不行吗？
小朋友可惜啊。
来，妈妈亲一个，嗨，欢迎你们。Hello， 欢迎来到我们主场。爸爸亲一个，哇，爸爸小宝贝，儿童节快乐，嗨。爸爸亲一个，耶。
The theme today is a Poke Pilots in celebration of Children's Day. So in the stadium they have a little parent and children kiss cam. Oh, little 2-on-1 action. How lucky for that kid. Jackie Li Jiakang not known for his sharpshooting, starting this game off 2 for 2 from 3-point range, giving the Pilots this early lead at 14-9. The Braves, not exactly the most efficient machine right now on offense, with 2 turnovers. So they're shooting the basketball pretty well. As Jet will knock down another one. That's for 3. Jet had a strong game on Saturday as well with 18 points. Down to Justin, he turns and fires, no good. Definitely had that Wu Junxiang swag. Jet driving, stopped by Ethan, no. He scores it anyways. Ningzhen hands off to Jackie, given room, but he'll hand it off. Jiang closing in on his collegiate teammate. And Xie Zonglong getting an early stint. Jason Washburn with the tricky jumper there. Jet, a little bit of the hot hand. Cannot make space against Ethan. Back to Zheng Xiangxun. He lifts off with 1 foot and scores again. He's becoming very efficient from right around that free throw area, maybe a step in. That's become his bread and butter, besides taking away all of Area 02 sneakers. Justin to Lingzhen. Could not get the shot off. And the referees say it's going to be a clean block by fresh in the game, Xie Zonglong. Or Jimmy. I don't really know that many 200-centimeter tall Jimmies, to be fair. The Jet letting that layup go a little early, throwing off the timing of Ethan, who was in good position. Number 22, Huang Huan, he's fresh in the game. Usually a defensive stopper or sometimes runs the point. As Lingzhen, fresh in the game, dishes it to Jimmy, but he loses the handles. Beast took Saturday off, as mentioned, maybe some rotational time off. Jeff Ayers is fresh in the game. Down low, and a little mic and drill from number 4. Missed shot, Ayers with the rebound. Had a pretty strong game on Saturday and owned up to the illegal screen he committed that denied the Pilots a chance to tie it up in overtime. He's short with that 3 there. So again, could commend him for the effort on the game. 26 points, 11 boards. Jimmy to Beast. They closed the space down as Pauian got a hand on it. As Jet maneuvering right, bouncing it off the floor on the rear end of Taoyuan, number 00. Supposed to be more or less number 100. He gets a little bit of space, puts it on target, but off iron, and a nice dodgeball play by number 00. Get another look at Pauian with the quick entry pass. And usually expertly run by perhaps the Hsinchu Jiekou Lioneers when they had Sim Bular. He is now with a different team in Taiwan. Ayers catching it back. This time he rolls it in. Getting the Pilots lead back up to 5. Lai Tian, number 0, also had a pretty strong second game against the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Rebound, going to be out of bounds. They say off the Pilots as Xie Zongrong. A little too much to handle for the shorter Pilots players around him. Getting a look at the kick out pass. Taoyuan to Ayers. With under 2 minutes to go, the Braves will get a chance. A little bit of pistol action as Beast trying to go to work against number 6. Guan Dayo shakes and finding Zhou Guoyu down low. There's a little bit of flair and a welcome back from Beast as Washburn trying to get to the cup, but he's fouled. He's alone. Did probably 70% of the work on that defensive play, just the foul, as you see Pauian falling to sleep just a little bit as Guan Dayo shook. Despite being one of the younger players on the team, Guan Dayo, 25 years old. He's been in the Plus League for 3 seasons, so actually has the most playing time in Season 1 when the Pilots were a little bit short-handed, having to split their team up. After a made free throw by Washburn, he follows it up with another. And dutifully heading toward the bench, giving way to number 15, Pong Pong. And a very short stint for Josh as he subbed out. Beast on the Iverson cut, waiting for Zaisev, who slips the screen, but he picked up the dribble. Now to the other side. Good find as even better challenge by Pauian coming over for the help. Looking down the board, they have some numbers. Guan Dayo choosing to pass to Ayers, and he rewards the team with 3. Guan Dayo might have the better catch and shoot opportunity, but Jeff Ayers is one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. Turns out to be a good decision. Lai Tian will try to answer quickly. He does. So the Braves don't fall too far behind. This is supposed to be one of the lower scoring environments in the Plus League, certainly under head coach Caminos, leading the team for the first time. We're looking for Ayers, but he doesn't get a mismatch as Pauian will have that one stripped and bounce off his own body. the Braves will have presumably the last shot of the quarter. Little bit of full court pressure by the Pilots to run down the clock. A little bit of room as Guan Dayo not giving Lai Tingan that much space. He's faking right, and a smart foul by Pong Pong there. Usually, we on the English broadcast might criticize him for a lot of the sliding fouls he commits where they're not necessary, especially with a team in the bonus, for example, but with only 2 team fouls, leaving the Braves only 2 seconds left, that was a smart play. Singletary trying to shake free on the baseline as Yer Zaisev pots free. The rainbow is up, but out. And that's the first quarter in the books. The Pilots, 5-point lead at the first timeout, a 5-point lead after the first quarter. We'll be back after these messages.
Taco 领航小泫雅安安，吃可爱长大的小童，笑容发电机米卡，舞蹈女神佩佩，气质系的可乔，篮球女孩小雨，欢迎他们。
掌声送给 P.LEAGUE 儿童节，来一点应景的歌曲。
好的，现在想要参加我们中场游戏的乘客球员朋友们呢，举高你的双手 ，P.LEAGUE 要来发信物啦！拿到信物的朋友就可以参加中场游戏。Put your hands up， 让他们看到你坐在哪里。那今天中场游戏呢，也有非常特别的奖品，是由我们健身工厂还有金色山脉所提供的，拭目以待啦。好的，恭喜拿到信物的球员朋友们，记得在第2节结束前的3分钟下来记录台报道，谢谢大家。
The Rakuten Monkeys mascots are in the building. You just saw Victor, their more serious, stern, and probably hits the weight room more often mascot. Maybe we'll see a Monkey around. Actually, he's right there behind the scorer's table. In the very first season of the Plus League, the Rakuten girls came out to support the Pilots during their playoff series against the Dreamers. A quick-fire 3 by Hong Oh-han gets the scoring start of the second quarter. And that makes it an 8-point lead for the Pilots. I have a very scary monkey story from my baseball broadcasting in 2020. Singletary a little bit outside. He does have the putback for a score, but has missed on a couple of jumpers. Pilots looking to make it maybe a double-digit lead as big-to-big screen airs all net again. And a couple three-pointers made. It's the Braves opting to call the timeout. Don't tell the Pilots they're on a losing streak. They're playing strong as we have another break in the game. Be back after this.
暂停时间到。
谢谢我们 Pilots Crew， 谢谢，掌声鼓励给到 Pilots Crew。那在今天呢，我们的元气小子跟大色也会在场边跟我们球迷朋友们互动。那记得拿出你的热情跟他们打招呼。
Welcome back to the broadcast. Be sure to leave a like on the stream for the last Plus League PLG Tuesday night basketball broadcast of the regular season. We hope you've enjoyed all of these matchups during the season, as kind of taking inspiration from last year where COVID meant the schedule was shuffled up a little bit, and the Pilots in particular opting for a couple Tuesday night games, having to play 3 and 4, but the teams in the league office felt that to accommodate more games on the schedule, they needed to break into the weeknight. Zaitsev on the post. Passing out to Leitingen, he shoots the 3. Good answer from the Braves. Leitingen didn't look exactly in perfect rhythm. Gets it to fall anyways. He's a 24% three-point shooter on the season. Ayers, a step in front of the corner. Out to Pong Pong. Shot, fake, drive, and kick. On the way, and another one! It's Jeffrey Curtis Ayers, the three-point sharpshooter, now boosting the Pilots. 4 or 5 three-pointers made. Leitingen can't get the counter. Nice athleticism. Pauian brushing it inbounds as Guan Dayo with the athletic pass. Tony Ray can't make it a couple in a row as foul on the rebound. Not a horrible play by the Pilots down the other way, but you see 2 bigs playing a 2-man game resulting in 3s. If that's not modern basketball, I don't know what is. Jeff Ayers' highest three-point made mark is Saturday at 5 for 7. If you need a reminder, 26 points on the game. It went to overtime. Nice slip. He will get the score. And who else but Beast with a nice feed. This is something where maybe shooting charts are not so clear about. Pong Pong putting up the layup, but Chen too much on defense as Pauian with a reach and fouling transition. A simple ball screen and roll, and Pong Pong gave a little bit too much space. Tony Ray could not stay attached. Zheng Xiangjun has been working on that part of his game quite a bit. Now working with Singletary. He'll try from 3. This time it's good. Mike finding the stroke after a little bit of a wayward miss before. But that's just how basketball goes. Pauian fancy spin around the defense as Pong Pong will kick it back to him. But it's in and out after 3 bounces. The Braves now down by just 6. Then Xiangjun from the top, he'll try it, but it's no good. Little 3-man game for the Pilots as Ayers pops 3 again, but it's short. Guan Dayo got in the mix there, but 2 big men for the Braves secured the board. Mike catching, firing it back. They swing it around. Eventually, Zaitsev finds himself free. But there's another miss for the Braves. They are 5 of 12 shooting the 3-pointer. Not too bad. Tony Ray up to Pauian. He shoots with confidence, but it's off to the right. Didn't get his legs under it. Then Jianjun looking for an option, but Zaisev will opt to get it to Beast. Choosing not to take the deep pull-up, he passes it around. They want to get Zaisev going off 1 foot, but no. They're certainly trying, but Big Z now 0 for 4 in the game. Maybe could create a little opportunity underneath instead. Pauian looking for airs as Taoyuan Flash is beating 3 seconds. He somehow gets it to go. Yeah, this was definitely probably something Zaisev was saying to the refs about how long airs was in the paint. A little freedom of movement foul there by Pauian. Another look at airs catching it on the right side, but then turning to shoot over his left shoulder. 2 substitutions for both teams. Jet back in the game to Singletary, who had a second even. And they will say tip ball, although I'm sure Singletary would like a foul out of it. At least they'll get possession, but number 17 not so happy with what he might consider just a half measure there. You get a look for yourself as Pauian, let's see, that right hand was nowhere near the basketball. So these fouls are not reviewable, as the referees would have to issue an unsportsmanlike or disqualification foul in this case. They'll just have to go down as a missed call. Of course, now the interesting thing is Caminos can opt to review the out of bounds since there was no foul called on the play. The referees kind of putting themselves in a little bit of a bind. Over to Smart, he'll try from deep. As a couple bodies went down, the whistle looks like the Braves will hang on to possession after the miss. A little bit of applause for Lee Jiakang, but the Braves will be shooting free throws for the rest of the way. Jet behind the back to Zaisev, but didn't even have clean footwork there. So it's Smart trying to turn around Jay. It turns into a Pilot's transition opportunity. First time in a while that they've touched the basketball. Down to Washburn. The rest of the team wasn't ready. Pong from a step behind the three-point line. It's going to turn into a out of bounds for the Braves. The lead for the Pilots is 8 points. Let's see if the Braves can find their form back. Certainly having a little bit of frustrations. Jiakang and Washburn doubling. They get it. Turnover as Washburn awkwardly gets it to Justin. For certainly what is the most odd-looking shot or odd-looking play of the game, though not the most bizarre for Washburn in the season, as Pong passed up by Zaisev. And I guess part of the Children's Day theme, little tap of the basketball laying on his back. Now both teams playing tight as Smart might pay with the experienced foul there on Pong Pong. Lee Jiakang and Washburn playing tough on the double team. And Washburn, this is where you'd like to get it to a guard, but the two guards were ahead of him. Ayers back in for the Pilots. Justin dribbling left, slicing through, putting it up on target as the two Pilots kind of collide into each other. Maybe to the chagrin of Washburn. He's called for the travel. We had some high scoring early in the game, which keeps up the game flow, but when there's some misses, when there's some turnovers, some loose balls, you know the physicality will be going up. Another loose ball foul means Brave shooting free throws. The Pilots continue to be the most physical defensive team in the league, committing 22 fouls per game, which results in their opponents taking 20.4 free throws per game, but that's not the highest mark. The highest opponent's free throws against is the Steelers at 22.8. Could be a pair made for Singletary. Talk about maybe baseball pitchers being put on a clock. Well, how about free throw shooters in basketball? Ethan catching it back from Washburn, too strong. He was guarded by Brendan Smart on that last trip where the Pilots wanted to go with it. Singletary getting a step, but meeting Ayers at the basket. Justin floating it over the basket. As there's a whistle. Ayers double down on the other side. See Singletary driving through, and Ayers brave to stand in there, but taking an elbow to the face. Though I'm certain the Braves are not super happy that they got possession on the other side, but there's a stoppage of the game. Definitely hard to watch on the replay. The Braves will take advantage by talking it over at their bench, as I assume right now we are in a timeout. Si Jingyao, Lin Ziwei, or Wayne. A couple of the Pilots teammates, along with some of the training staff, walking Ayers back to the bench, as Chen Xinan will also step up and address the officials on the play. That's definitely another one of those that is hard to officiate, because Ayers is in the restricted area. But they can make the argument that Michael Singletary put his elbow out there to certainly hope not intentionally harm an opponent, but definitely hard to avoid not feeling the ouchie on contact like that. On the season series, the scoring is only 82.9 points per game between the Braves and Pilots when they match up head-to-head. That is still the lowest mark in the Plus League. The next low is Pilots versus Dreamers at 83.1 points, so not too far away. But would you add to the fact that there's a lot of close games. That'll definitely add to the physicality as Pong Pong used his elbows before using his body. Zaitsev kind of changing up his free throw routine now.
7-1.
Draining the first free throw. And another one. So Zaitsev now with 4 points on the game. Washburn riding the screen for Ethan as he breaks down Zaitsev, but Zaitsev recovers and hanging in the air. Xiaobai with the lay-in. So hard to do against Big Z. Did well to recover on that play. Now Jet getting a step, but choosing the fadeaway off the front of the rim. But Justin won't push it. Back to a 6-point lead. Under 3 minutes to go. Ethan to Justin. He'll try the sideways jumper from the free throw line. Looking down the floor, it's Jet taking on a couple pilots, and Wu Jingshan wasn't set, they said. See Ethan breaking down Z, but doesn't get that far as acrobatically Xiaobai was able to get the finish. The Braves have been getting to the line a lot in the second quarter. They had no free throws in the first. There's their first miss from the line. They're only 4 for 14 shooting from the floor in the quarter. Meanwhile, the Pilots, no free throw attempts for them, not being nearly as aggressive. The referees say a little bit too much bumping from Smart. So the Pilots are 6 for 16 from the field. For now, keeping their turnovers in check, and so have the Braves, 3 and 5 respectively. He's been guarded by Zhou Guoyu. Will stop, step right, and another make. The MC saying it. He's magical. Already got 5 points. Zaitsev and Singletary working together on that screening action, but it turns into Jet with a missed runner. The Braves seeking their 4th straight victory. They had an 8-game winning streak before, but stopped by the Pilots. Washburn will try the left hand, but no good. That one was halfway down and out. Pong Pong got his hands in it, but Zaitsev spinning to the baseline, fancy. But we say these are the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the league. They have been, shall we say, leading some games behind against the Kings, who weeks ago lost Byron Mullins to injury. His recovery is ongoing. There's another whistle, that time Xiaobai driving. So this is the 2nd time as utilizing the footwork. maybe in a little bit of gray area, admittedly. But if he landed on 2 feet, the referees can't allow him to make a move like that. Timeout on the floor with less than a minute to go.
我刚才有讲了，不要这样打。现在先把这一球，他罚完球进攻的时候，做到劈手。麦克在哪一边？我们全部走。麦克规定他在这一边。自己先帮忙这边中线挡，挡完之后直接过半场这边直接。
Now on the screen is a meme as created by our colleague Cai Qingjing for the Pilots losing within 5 points in 7 of their 12 losses. The meme probably being that the various teams in the league kind of control the universe that the Pilots play in. One important note about the recent losses, including the Pilots losing to the Kings, who now own the 6-1 head-to-head record over, you could consider them an upstart team, having been finishing the first season in 3rd place, and then last place last year. Here's a closer look at Victor. Yes, don't show us Monkey. He'll give me some night terrors. I'll tell you about that later. Against the playoff-bound Kings, mentioned 6-1. The Pilots are 2-3 against the Braves. So when you total that up, as there's, at least through most of the season, a pretty clear divide between the top 3 teams, Kings, Braves, and Pilots, and the 3 teams on the bottom half of the table. The Pilots only 3-12 against the top 2 teams. Top 3 teams if you have to exclude their games. The Braves are 5-12. The best team against the top competition is the Kings at 11-14. Singletary on the right side gets the lay-in. As we get another timeout on the floor, this time by the Pilots. So that's 79% winning percentage for the Kings. And the Pilots only at 25, for example. So that kind of starts to explain the difference in the total season standings of the 2 teams. They're a simple play, just let Singletary go to work. Now, interesting enough, against the, shall we say, lower portion of the table, the Steelers only 4-9, only good for 31 percentage points. Of course, a lot of those losses occurring before the arrival of Jeremy Lin. So that's an issue when you talk about the win total at the end of the season, whereas the Dreamers and the Lioneers have 8 wins apiece against their fellow teams at the bottom of the table, or shall we say lower half of the table. Now with 32 seconds left, but in the first half, Caminos can't advance the basketball, so no matter how fast they get this shot up, there's a high likelihood that the Braves will have the last possession. But since you have those timeouts pocketed, you want to drop the best play, get the right personnel in. One thing the Pilots were known for in the first half of the season on their winning streak, especially at home, is they can always get incredible buzzer beaters, and the second quarter, end of that first half, is a particular strength. Braves show off a little bit of a zone look with Zysef in the middle. Pong Pong to Ethan, stepping through, finding some space, getting his own board. Flinging the pass out as Tamire taking contact, can't get the call. And eventually on the rebound, there is a whistle. sure Caminos wants the foul earlier in the possession. And I'm sure APC Singletary didn't want a foul at all. So initial stop by Zaitsev as Tony Ray might be able to make the argument, though probably say the foul is not Singletary and Zaitsev instead. No Braves in foul trouble looking up at the big board, and on the Pilot side it's number 12 Lee Jiakang with 3. So a reset on the shot clock as Washburn stopped initially, but getting the reverse layup. Time will expire. The Braves will in fact not get a last shot off. Those offensive rebounds kind of changing up the equation. So the two teams will be heading to the locker rooms. Pilots 47-38, leading game 93 of the Plus League regular season.
When I'm giving you all my attention, can you take a hint? Can you take a hint? When I'm looking like all that and then some, can you take a hint? Can you take a hint? You can't deny this tension's hot. You're burning alive, can't pretend you're not. Whoa, baby, you got it. Yeah, if you want it, all you can need, come and get it, get it. You're gonna get lucky tonight. I want you to touch me tonight. Long as you play your cards right. Whoa, you can love me all night. You're gonna get lucky tonight. I want you to touch me tonight. Long as you play your cards right. You can love me all night. Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say, okay, ladies, now let's get information. Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say, okay, ladies, now let's get information.
Okay, ladies, now let's bounce to this.
I came to play, bitch.
My daddy Alabama, mama Louisiana. You mix that Negro with that Creole, make a Texas Bama. I like my baby hair with baby hair and afro. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. I earned all this money, but they never take the country out me. I got hot sauce in my
Hot sauce about us.
好的，谢谢我们 Pilots Crew， 掌声给到我们 Pilots Crew， 谢谢。Hello， 线上现场的朋友们，大家好！上半场的比赛非常的刺激，我是李一博 Pauian， 我们即将呢要来玩儿童节的中场游戏。我们看到我们工作人员在我们的场中呢有4张 Poke Pilots 的 Q 版球员卡。那待会呢我会出题，讲出对应的球员，然后我们总共有4组参加的乘客朋友们。好，我们先欢迎4组参加的乘客朋友们上来，他们即将2 PK。我会先出题，然后由小朋友呢在中间猜拳，赢的那一方呢，爸爸或妈妈就可以去。
We're inside Taoyuan Arena, home of the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, seeking to end their losing streak on the season, the longest of the season, despite the team also having the longest winning streak in Plus League history earlier at 10. The theme day here in the building is Poke Pilots, the icicle dessert. We bring you real quick the combined team statistics, where the most notable thing is the Pilots shooting a way above average at 8 for 16 3-pointers made. The Braves not doing too bad themselves at 5 for 15. But the physicality of the game will definitely be a big note. as kind of surprisingly, we don't have that many turnovers despite how physical the game has been. The Braves can have a little bit of success on those ball screen and rolls that the Pilots definitely need to figure out. Then Jiang Jun came in early with a couple of scores on those pick and rolls and the May 3, and Lington getting the start of the game, but haven't said his name much, as the Pilots will be counting a lot on Jeff Ayers and Jason Washburn in the paint. And having some rotational days off before, Jet is relatively fresh for this game, and presumably we'll see a little bit more of Beast later in the game. They're having the nice vision to find Tokoe for the easy scores on what we talked about, those ball screen and rolls. So back to the physicality, being how physical it is, you definitely got to worry about maybe the foul counts creeping up on teams if the referees will see a lot more fouls out on the floor. So the foul count and maybe rotating in fresh bodies might be a big thing for the second half to look out for. A couple incredible makes from Ethan Bayao will bring you the individual scoring totals in the second segment after this break. And so whatever it takes to get a victory in the Plus League. We'll be going to one more break. Back after this.
上篮进了就可以回来翻牌了，我们要预锐的，要预锐的。如果没翻中，要继续上篮回来才能翻哦。好，恭喜妹妹已经帮这个我们富邦勇士的朋友翻出来了，没关系，来叫妈妈回来。妹妹你非常的有风度，非常赞。好的，恭喜我们这边获胜。 好，那请我们的这个两组的朋友，获胜的两组朋友呢，来到我们场中。那没有获胜的朋友也不要气馁，在我们旁边记录台呢，领我们的参加奖。那麻烦我们获胜的朋友们看我们前面，我们即将呢要来颁发我们朱宗庆打击乐团所提供2023第11届台湾国际打击乐团节的门票2张，各2张。好，我们请我们工作人员呢。 把我们的奖品给送上来，稍等一下。好，稍等一下哦。来，给我。好，好的，要不要脱口罩？要不要？你们4个要不要脱口罩一起合照？要吗？难得。OK， 没关系。来，恭喜。好，一起合照1张。来看前面哦，一起合照1张。3、2、1。3，哎，再一次哦，还没。 没关系，小心。好，来看前面的姐姐，3、2、1，耶！好可爱，谢谢，好谢谢我们的大乘客、小乘客，谢谢我们富邦勇士的朋友，恭喜你们，儿童节快乐！好的，那今天呢，我们也有我们飞行预测的活动。 会来送出8名的健身工厂3个月会籍，跟5名的金色山脉经典大拼盘。那今天我们首位得分的是神奇小白白耀成。好的，刚刚有没有进场预测成功的朋友们？你们的签就在里面。那抽中的朋友们呢，记得到我们服务台来领奖啦。我们先抽出8位的健身工厂会籍好了，等我一下哦。 直接8张。好的，恭喜以下8名的球迷朋友们。 这个是我们健身工厂3个月会籍的得主。那麻烦呢，打开耳朵，好好。
Welcome back to the broadcast. It's Ryan Chen, yours truly, on the English broadcast solo. As we see one young fan taking hydration very seriously. The theme game day is Pocky Pilots, or Pocky Pilots. I should check that with somebody. We start the second segment here at halftime with the leading scorers, Singletary and Zheng Xiangjun with 9 points apiece, followed by Jet with 8, Lai Tingyun coming off the bench with 6 points. Ier Zaisev not scoring until the second quarter. He's got 4 points. The free throws in the first half was just 10 for 12 combined by the two teams. So look out for that number in the second half. You know, as we mentioned, these two teams will play each other physical and certainly challenging the officials in terms of what the line is when it comes to legal and illegal contact. Meanwhile, on the pilot side, Jeffrey Curtis Ayers with 16 points. He leads the field, followed by Washburn, who's getting the start, 8 points. Starting point guard of Ethan Bayelson with 7. And the Jiakang knocking down some early threes. Making 2 in a row was a huge boost for the Pilots to start this game off. And of course, Lu Junxiang seeing one go in early is also got to be something that maybe the Pilots coaching staff can't say out loud, but must give them a little bit more confidence with their leading scorer probably feeling a little bit of rhythm. But the main guy in rhythm is Jeff Ayers, who, especially when he works with Pong Pong, might be creating opportunities for some big-to-big chemistry to create openings. That time on the screen up top, and then this is what I'm talking about, the drive and kick, especially when they're going up against the two bigs of the Braves. Going to create a lot of opportunities. Got just about 4 minutes left at the start of the second half. Take your break, and we'll see you right back after this. Just about a minute left before the start of the second half. We're completing week 22 of the 28-week Plus League's regular season in Season 3. Coming up on the weekend, the Pilots will be the home team and playing at the 5 p.m. slot on Saturday and Sunday. And the other competition will be the Kaohsiung 17 Live Steelers, who will host the 2:30 p.m. games. And at the conclusion of this game, all the teams in the Plus League would have played 31, or if you're the Dreamers, 32 games on the season. The only exception are the Steelers, who, despite being the last place team in the league at 9 wins, 21 losses, still have a prayer of making the playoffs, as our producers will be giving us these Jeff Ayers highlights from the first half. He started things off with the basket made close to in close range, and then making a few three-pointers. Something that did not stand out to us in his scouting report coming over from Japan is how deadly accurate he can be outside. And one thing he's proving in this game with that second make, or that last make, is how he can be accurate from all across the arc. He's starting off the second half on the exercise bike. Maybe Coach Camino's considering sticking with his planned rotation minutes. Braves will start with the possession. Singletary getting the screen from Zaisev. Quick fire two over the reach of the jumping, leaping Pong Pong. Justin to Jackie, who can't get around Singletary's defense. As Ethan spinning, does not get the shot, but was wrapped up, the referees say. It's Jet. Anticipated the spin move, but hands were not exactly in the right place. Not in an inappropriate way. Thankfully, Ethan makes the free throw to distract you from the broadcaster shenanigans. That makes it 8 points for them coming at the line for number 30. Singletary trying to work his way to the corner as they get the switch. KJ will try. I think that's his first shot attempt of the game. A little bit of motion offense for the Pilots. See Washburn on the post, double quickly as Ethan shoots the floater and misses. Chen came over to help. Singletary getting through the defense. Chen going to the right hand. Cannot get it off glass as Singletary kind of takes it into a little bit of trouble there. The Jet, he finishes off the possession with 3. Eventually the Braves get their points. In fact, maybe get it 1 extra. Jet has got 11 points, 2 or 3 three-point shooting. Has been a little bit more of a weakness than it has been in the past. Of course, not known as the best range shooter. Running low on time. Ethan in front of 3 Braves. That's another miss for the Pilots as they see their lead down to 6. Reaching foul by Pong Pong there. Singletary working toward the middle. He'll fire away, but another missed shot. 5-2 is the score in the third quarter. Jet gambles but misses the steal attempt, but in and out. Lu Junxiang. Looking the other way, it's Igor Zaisev with the alley from Jet. They just keep chipping away at this Pilots lead.
Let's go, Pilots!
The Pilots are 0 for 3 from the field. Shot fake will be called. Jet reaching from behind. Not exactly the high physicality that I was kind of describing. I think I was describing in the first half. As you see Zaisev get up. The easy dunk there. At the line, sink the first one. Another reminder that the Pilots don't have any field goals yet in this third quarter. They're working on it. But short with the free throw, they call a violation as a whole bunch of bodies were moving in on the free throws. The Pilots, in addition to having the lowest scoring environment in Taoyuan, and also perhaps the slowest catch to shoot free throw time. And it's still off. Jet working his way to the right sideline as a horn set for Singletary. He's doubled. Pong Pong, nice no-look stab at it. We say around here, nice Pong Pong. Washburn out to Pong Pong. He'll try for 3, but it's an air ball. Not so nice Pong Pong. But not to fret. The center is only 0 for 2 on the game, shooting the 3. Singletary and Zaisev once again. They're going to be playing that pick and roll to death, especially if they get the Pilots defenders they want involved in the pick and roll. Slip screen from Pong Pong as Washburn stepping back into a 3, too strong. The lid still in the basket for the Pilots. Usually have trouble on the other side of the floor. Zhejiang with a quick fire jumper. Washburn, the intended target, but the Braves jump it and quickly down the floor for Jet. After the lay-in, no timeout for the Pilots though. They're going to try to take it to the TV timeout. On the season, the Pilots scored 22 points per third quarter. The Braves are much higher at 25 points. Washburn hanging on to it, but kind of trapped down low. He's going to be called for the 3 seconds or the shot clock violation. Definitely have a hard argument from the Pilots if they want to say there's a foul. There was a double team, well played there, as the nice pass down court. The score table let us all know we are in our first television timeout of the second half with the Braves cutting into the lead. They're down by 3.
来喽！上了大荧幕，口罩可以先拿下来。我们
来到我们大荧幕
时间，亲一下，可以。这边，爸爸，妈妈，小朋友可以亲一下 ，kiss can。你们2个，弟弟。多 多么的温馨！你看看，我们今天福原主场来喽，小妹妹。
It's a second round on the parent and child kiss cam. And I think they got that happy family again for the second time. Zhang Zhongxin is getting the highlight package for his exploits in the third quarter. 5 points and that assist in transition to Zaisev, who has the other 4 points of the quarter for the Braves. They are right now on a 9-3 run as the Pilots wait until the television timeout to get reorganized on their bench. Previously, it was a turnover by the Pilots, a violation, whether it was 3 seconds or a shot clock violation. The Braves take it out of the back. Again, Jet trying to streak down the right side as the offense gets a reset. Zaisev screens, creating some space. The backdoor pass not there, but Mike frees himself in a drained 3. Just like clockwork, the Braves tie it up after the first play. The away section cheering louder right behind the Braves bench. Justin looking for a Washburn as he takes the tough fader. Loose with the basketball. Justin off the foot of Jet. They say play on as he gets another deflection. Saw previously Jet and Zaisev pick and roll, and the Pilots committing help there left Michael Singletary open. A little bit of a slippage of the foot as Mike frees himself and can't hit though. With the score tied, Pilots still seeking that first bucket. They've gone through notorious cold streaks before, especially at home. Quick double as Ayers to Hallhan, the over-the-shoulder hook, and another miss. As Jet in close range steps in and he floats it in. If you're counting at home, that is 0 for 8 field goal shooting. Hallhan into a little bit of trouble, throws it out of bounds. Camino's not opting to call a timeout, but choosing to get substitutions going. Calvin will get his first stint on the game as Jet that time played the smarts on Ethan with the little head fake. Again, Jet, Singletary, and Zaisev working on the side. I was finally kind of matching up as the deflected pass is a miss and a shot clock violation. Still trying to break the seal. It's Washburn on the post. When they needed some contact, he'll go to the line. At least try to get points where a play is stopped. See Singletary initially matched up. Zheng Xiangjun came over to help. The only thing working in the Pilots' favor is they only committed 1 foul, but based on the flow of the game, you might think that they want to play a little harder defense and commit some other fouls, whereas the Braves, 3 team fouls. Washburn now with 10 points on the game. One thing about Xiaobai, he will put on quite a bit of pressure on the point guard. Chen Xiangjun got his eyes off of it. There's a whistle as Washburn was trying to jump the pass. Michael Singletary trying to get the Braves huddled up right around the jump circle before they're going to go on offense. Then Xiangjun will head off for Jimmy. Jet driving left. Stopped by Guan Dayo. Got him in the air, but forcing up a shot. Now it's Guan Dayo running the point. Nickname of Killer from the imports of the first even Davon Reed and Kadeem Jack. Washburn is tripping and falling and still able to finish. Getting past Guan Dayo, so there's mismatches in a lot of spots. The Jet will try to deep to pull up, no problem. Tied up at 54. Guan Dayo out to Ayers. They swinging around to Calvin. Into a little bit of trouble as Guan Dayo had the steal on KJ, and there's the first basket for the Pilots. Excuse me, the second basket after Washburn had the layup on the same side, same corner. Loaded pass, Ayers jumps in front of it as here come the Pilots on the break. No foul, but out of bounds for the Pilots. There you see Jet with the tough jumper there in Washburn's face. And Guan Dayo, not exactly a big, but using some good footwork in that. Steal opportunity, scoring from close. Justin, the intended pass, but Beast all over it. So Guan Dayo will try from deep. Number 6 to the rescue. Trying to quell this run, but he leaves the floater short. Potts on the run again. To Calvin from the right corner, yes! Now it's the Braves' turn to call timeout as they need to get regrouped. Well, we gave credit to number 12, Lee Jiakang, stepping up in a situation the Pilots needed some inspiration right now. The Pilots are led by number 6, Guan Dayo. Shooting with confidence. He's usually a better three-point shooter on the right side. And then dishing it to Calvin, who took advantage of the opening the Braves created in transition, you could say. Really crowding the paint there. So Li Huan has also seen his playing time reduced, but still can be an important contributor as a veteran on the team, where, especially with Sijiao not suited for the game. Coach Roger, if you were listening, reminding the team about transition defense, as the Braves were kind of caught a little bit flat-footed there. Every time they missed a shot or turned it over. It's kind of rare for us to call the Pilots a high-efficient scoring machine, but that's exactly what they were to get this 62-54 lead. Guan Dayo now guarding Lai Ting'en as they maneuver right. Zaitsev and Beast. Sung Ray guarding. The Shiazone on D2. And another stop for the Pilots. Go through the errors on the elbow extended. Washburn slipping a little bit, but now recovering. Going with the left hand, it's in! And the run continues for the Pilots. They have the lead up to 10. He's trying to calm the waters, but a little bit rushed. He's doubled, having to force it to Lai Ting'en, but Washburn, nice hands. Maybe a little bit fatigued. The imports lock themselves up, get involved with the offense. Washburn with Lai Ting'en on him, who jumped in for the steal, and a turnover by the Pilots. Michael Singletary short with it though. They say out of bounds off the Pilots as Washburn, you see, go to work. He's usually opting to use the right hand for all his shots, but showing off the offhanded hook shot. Under 40 seconds to go. Beast and Zaitsev. They get the switch, but Beast opting to choose the three. Big rainbow, short. And a about 2-second shot clock, third quarter clock difference. A great chance for the Pilots to create some more separation. They're now on top of the quarter, 17-16. Guan Dayo a little bit loose with the dribble. Lai Ting'en, one of the better steal guys of the league, as Guan Dayo puts it on target on the clutch. Leaving 2 seconds left for the Braves. They throw it into nowhere as Calvin runs it down. Maybe he get an extra steal for himself, as the Pilots, the home team, taking back the momentum from the two-time champs in their building. The fourth and final frame coming up after this.
小朋友一起跟我们的 Pilot School 姐姐来 battle。我们看到我们场边临战的铁粉昌哥依旧站起来帮我们飞行员加油。
再次掌声送给 Pilot School 以及陪伴着 Pilot School 在第3节节间舞动的所有的乘客们，谢谢。比赛即将进入最后一节，第4节关键的决胜节。
如果你觉得飞行员刚刚表现超帅，我要听到一个最大的尖叫声。手举高 ，Pilot School 要来发证件带了，手举高。
Welcome back to the broadcast. The ever famous third, fourth quarter fan dance here in the building. But getting the highlights are the Pilots on the floor. Jason Washburn and Guan Dayo, two of the main cogs in the run that they made toward the end of the the third quarter. The Braves call timeout with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left, but the rest of the way it was just one Pilot's bucket. Now the lowest the Braves have ever scored in Taoyuan on the season is 80 points, which actually happened twice. They won one and lost one. Their high here was 85 points. They swing it around. Chen Yurei will try from the corner. He got it. Talk about return to regression to the mean. Seems like the Pilots are having that kind of day offensively. TJ Jiantingzao in the green Venom sneakers. But his teammate from high school and Josh gets the lay-in. Interesting rotation as number 14 Taoyuan is in there, along with Brendan Smart. Of course, Zaisef in at center. Meanwhile, on the Pilot side, Guan Dayo, Chen Yurei, Calvin, Ayers, and Pong Pong. Guan Dayo fighting into the middle with courage as Ayers couldn't get the putback, but loose ball will stay with the Pilots as understandably there's a strong contest for the rebound as the Pilots pull Ayers down. Let me see, I don't know whether it was Zaisef or Smart that pulled or pushed him down. Ayers will try the mid-range, but it'll fall to the Braves. Poke from behind. Guan Dayo's got himself a steal overhead with Chen Yurei. One-handed lay-in. I wonder if he had some more meaner thoughts on that play. He did get hurt here in Pauian on a fast break on that very side of the basket. Stoppages in the action as Zaisef kind of loose sneakers as we get to enjoy some of the Pilots highlights. Then they found themselves up by 13 points. Right now, the Pilots winning a lot of the effort plays. TJ over to Winston, but the pass a little bit off target. The rhythm of the play slowed down. Smart finding some room, missing with the left hand. And Guan Dayo behind the back. Fancy, but Calvin could not take care of it. Not a bad play, but sure would like to convert or if not get fouled. And maybe can give credit for Zhougui for sticking with the play and anticipating the pass. That's a real inside basketball play there because Zhougui is not going to get credit for the steal, or maybe he might. We'll have to double check with our scorers. DJ driving and kicking the Zhougui on the hammer. Get it back, working with Zaisef, but stripped from behind. No whistle, so it's just an out of bounds. We'll use Zaisef presenting some evidence. A little referee context clue. Ball goes down, but hands go up. Not so lucky that time as Winston kind of on a scramble play. Maybe good hands one time, but not so much the second time. Guan Dayo is right now the #1 guy for the Pilots. He's there on defense and he's leading them on the offensive end, especially on the fast break. Like a lot of teammates on the Pilots out of Nansan High School. Corner three for TJ, but it's short. Zhougui in the right spot. Give the Braves another chance. Working with Zhen Xiangjun. Three, but it's halfway down and out. And it's now the Braves who are struggling to score the basketball. Ayers spinning into a double team as the Pilots rotate around. Pong Pong planks it. Singletary's in the game. The Smart could not finish through contact in transition. Legal defense by Pong Pong.
Let's go.
Anyway, having made a 3, will look it off, as with a lot of subs in the game, kind of wonder who's going to initiate the offense in the half court. Guan Dayo, they'll try to pull up 3, but it's missed. Singletary finding a TJ to Smart. He stopped, but Singletary finishing things off. There's a lot of frustration still going, because the Pilots rightfully calling out Singletary for some extracurriculars after the make. Motion offense for the Pilots until Guan Dayo looks for Pong Pong. Little backdoor pass. He can't get it up, but at least puts it on the rim. A couple Pilots taking their time to recover, as Pong Pong can only foul in transition. And just like that, Michael Singletary is willing the Braves back into the game. Following up that rebound. Probably not that happy that he took a hand to the face either. So maybe this is an opportune time for cooler heads to prevail. 8 minutes to go in the ball game. We have our last commercial break before the rest of the action here in Taoyuan. $69-58 is the score in this contest between the Taipei Fubon Braves and the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. There's Monkey, a thing of stuff of nightmares. I say that because in my very first season broadcasting in baseball in the CPBL, it was at the Rackerton Monkeys home in Taoyuan International Baseball Stadium, about 20 to 30 minute drive from here. And we broadcast in a little bit of a broadcast booth or VIP booth, however the team or the organization uses that room. But anyways, it's an enclosed room. And there's a sliver of an open window, the sliver of a window to the next room over. And so I was sitting close to it, and Monkey popped out of nowhere with his face pressed up against the window. Okay, enough about my nightmare fuel. Braves will start on offense. Michael Singletary working with Zhen Xiangjun. Call for the offensive foul with the dislodge. Another turnover for the Braves in the second half. There you see the left hand really seeking out Calvin's body to create some space. Looks like Singletary will play Rover a lot with him guarding Calvin. They zone up now as Washburn looking for space. And maybe the first time I've ever seen a 5-second call. So once again, we're in a kind of a state where both teams are looking for rhythm. And interesting enough, it's Justin and Beast coming in at the same time. Jet working his way left, and a foul first on the floor. Ethan with a head nod and acknowledgement. One thing about the game is that the Pilots have 11 guys scoring on the game. Meanwhile, the Braves only have 6. As Jet loses a player, finding Chen Xiangjun with the lay-in. So just like that, the Braves creep into within single digits again. Pong Pong in a swarm of defenders. Gets it out. Calvin getting the switch as they're looking for Washburn again. It's a little bit late. And he can't get the shot off accurately. Quickly the other way. Pong Pong pokes it out of bounds, though the Pilots are looking around and wondering if Smart touched it on the backside. There you see Ethan slipping on the hardwood. Chen Xiangjun got the lay-in. And Beast steps out of bounds on the catch. That makes it 3 turnovers for the Braves in the 4th quarter. 2 by the Pilots, if you're counting. Trying to set a cross screen for Washburn. He's got deep positioning. Ethan to Calvin. He'll try from 45, but it nicks the bottom of the backboard. Braves get the stop as Calvin is going to get the steal. And a crazy scramble. There's a blocked shot by Washburn. And Singletary, again, right there in the right spot. There you see the nice block. Maybe Pong Pong and Washburn getting involved in that one. Made first by Singletary. That is not Michael Singletary. That is Michael Singletary. 16 points, 13 rebounds on his night. The Pilots keep on looking for Washburn on the low post, but it ends up being turnovers or inefficient shots a lot of the time. There he goes again. The Smart waiting nearby. Gets into trouble and another miss. Extremely boring Pilots offense now leading to the Braves closing in. Washburn grabbing the board as the Pilots, at least with a little energy, momentum, have that one stripped. And again, the low scoring environment has definitely created a lot of these contacts. This time maybe Jet getting the brunt of it, as Ethan came over to fight for the possession. Calvin switched on to Jet as Chen Xiangjun off the knee. Singletary again in the right place, right spot. Closing the gap to 5 points, and now the Pilots call timeout as the current score of the quarter, 10-5. There you see the pass off the leg, and when the referees deem it wasn't a kickball or any forward momentum of that leg, they don't need to whistle. And so Singletary probably cutting on the Chen Xiangjun catch on the screen and roll.
But we do like this, play and play the repeat. Fight, go, we play the repeat. Calvin to show, to put in, Linton, so high, Justin go corner. Yes, sure. and screen, and we play the repeat. Let's go, Let's go, Let's go, guys. 然后，如果祥军没有给这边的人，我要去做Chicago。这个 flyer 没有的时候，这边没有，不要再打，不要打了，直接走这边。这个刚过来的，顺便打这个跳过去了，18就会到篮下，这边就有2个人，一边 fly 一边Chicago。OK， 来 ，Let's go。哎 ，We need 3 stop，We need 3 stop，3 stop。对。
Jimenez having a little long distance patty cake game with the referees perhaps, or maybe the cameraman. On the other side, Coach Roger with the Braves' famous 3 stops. And the Pilots will go on offense, no change in personnel. Chen left open, he'll try from 3, no good. Calvin in the middle. Looks like Brandon Smart will be called for the foul. Certainly one of the most handy defenders in the league. Lu Junxiang has not had many opportunities in the second half. He's stopped by Chen Xiangjun as 3 seconds left. Ethan trying to put it up in Singletary's face. It's going to be an air ball. And lucky for the Pilots, the referees whistled, forcing the Braves to take it out of bounds. Getting the screen, Singletary passes it to Smart, attacking the space, but smashing it off the backboard. Now Washburn is starting from the high post now. Screening for Justin as he leaves it for Ling Chen. Missing once as Washburn again on the right side with the putback. That also happened in their close victory here against the Kings, if I remember correctly. Nice give and go play as several players go down. Washburn holding his jaw, Ling Chen holding his ankle, and Chen Xiangjun got up before I can make a comment. Here you see Chen Xiangjun crashing into Ling Chen as Washburn got a knock to the face. And the referees are going to opt to go to the monitor to look at this play. That's a car accident if I've ever seen one, and with 3 involved. Jason Washburn listed at 7 feet tall or 213 centimeters. Trying to get the steal against Chen Xiangjun, 205 centimeters or 6'8.5", and getting crashed on the backside, 202 centimeters or 6'7.5", Ling Chen. It'd definitely be odd for Chen Xiangjun to be called for the unsportsmanlike, though he did hit Washburn in the face, unintentionally, I would hope. And of course, it's hard to call Chen Xiangjun for the foul on crashing into Ling Chen, who's made it to the Pilots bench. Earlier in the game, Ayers Took an unintentional shot to the face. And see, that right hand wrap is definitely a spot that the referees probably called a foul on the play. But by the book, they definitely can go to the monitor and look for any specialty fouls. So he's getting an explanation for the referees. In the end, it's just Chen Xiangjun going to the line. Ayers is going to check into the ball game. Too strong on the first one. With under 4 minutes to go, if that's Washburn's afternoon. He's got 16 points and 10 rebounds. Chen Xiangjun makes 1 of 2. Jeff Ayers has a long stint to rest. Let's see what kind of energy he brings. Ethan, Kevin, not looking to shoot at all. 4 seconds left. Now he takes the deep three on the bottom side of the rim. Seems like to me the Pilots are not doing well with their initial setup on offense. Jet maneuvering around Pauian. He got the mid-range. Closing the distance to 4. Down to Ayers on the post. He spins quickly and over Smart with a long rebound means Singletary starting the break. Little back and forth as Jet cannot get off a clean shot. It's Chen Xiangjun over his shoulders, over his head with the lay-in. The gap is 2 points. Pauian back to Ethan. They're looking for Ayers and they eventually whistle. Smart holding on. And it sounds like Calvin will get subbed out of the game for Jackie. To Justin from the deep corner, and again off the mark. Pilots are now only 1 for 7 shooting the 3 ball and 2 for 11 shooting from 2. Mark going back door, nice find, but Ayers is there for the challenge. Commits a foul though on Jet streaking back door. The Pilots who call timeout. You see Ayers crashing down. Let's see what the Pilots do in their timeout.
Okay. Last screen we play with Jeff. Justin, when you put the handoff with Spike, open. Jeff, bump. No shot. Another handle. Bump on baseline. Hey, we need to go to the basket. When they are switching, this is simple. Shot, like you did it. Perfect. If not, drive to the basket. We need fouls. Go to free throw line. We got to be aggressive now, eh? We got to be aggressive. Let's go, let's go.
One thing that the Pilots have completely gone away from is dribble penetrations.
就直接攻，没有时候传这边也是一样。看，side pick and roll，因为它都是小的。They go small, they will switch. They will go switch. 来，go。
Pilots out of the timeout first. Now the Braves in their small lineup with Chen Xiangqun at center, Smart at power forward, and Singletary the small forward, but Beast and Jet, two gentlemen at 190 centimeters. Pilots with a little bit more conventional lineup. Ayers at center, Pong Pong at power forward, maybe the backcourt trio of Justin, Ethan, and Jackie as Jet ties it up. Some defensive chance going on for the Braves. Ayers looking for Justin, and he's gonna get called for travel. Good anticipation defense by Smart. Now 11 turnovers apiece. One thing that'll help the Pilots too, if they can play clean defense and get a stop, maybe they can create a run-out opportunity. Chen Xiangqun screens out to Smart, but Pong Pong anticipates it, forcing up a shot and somehow getting the bottom of the net. He's not had any offensive output until now, but Smart's jumper off balance, perhaps slipping. Little backdoor play as Ethan gets the counter. Pilots up by 1. Approaching a minute to go in the game. Jet right at the elbow as Beast trying to get the post up. Getting rid of one guy, back to Chen Xiangqun. He floats it up and in. Lead back to the Braves. Ayers slips. Chen Xiangqun, he'll try the runner. Eventually tapped out of bounds. They say Pilots basketball. Oh, a lot of the Braves players saying with so little time on the clock, maybe they want to look that over again. See that set play, Pong Pong screening for Ethan. Timeout on the floor as you see Smart falling after the shot. It looked all kinds of off. The referees will go to the monitor. You'll get a look for yourself. You see Beast actually had an arm on Ayers, and it's close in the middle there. By that look, it was Ayers' ring finger and pinky finger with the right hand brushing it last. Chen Xiangqun probably the last one to touch it as the Braves. He definitely reached and pulled forward with his right hand. You see the one bandage with the black. And the call is changed. With 35 seconds left, the Pilots are facing a precarious situation. Right now, all they can do is not allow a three. They step up into the front court. And Chen Xiangqun the first to catch. Jet maneuvering around the top of the key, way pretty much on the center line. Singletary coming over to catch. He's driving on Jackie. The sidestepper, foot on the line. It's good. And the road fans letting them hear it. The Braves now with a 3-point lead. You see Singletary probably try to step into a three-pointer. So it leaves the Pilots still a chance to send this to overtime. Jackie did a pretty decent job sliding his feet. But Michael Singletary coming on in this fourth quarter. 8 points, 6 rebounds. And of course being in the anchor of this small lineup for the Braves.
Hey, you have the three, take it. If they come close out, go for the layup. Go for the layup, and we can do foul, okay? There's a lot of time. Hey, let's go, hey, go. Que la hagan antes, que la hagan antes.
Looks like Caminos is trying to maybe go against convention and playing the long game. But on the other side, not that sure what the Braves personnel until now. It's going to be Zaitsev and Chen Xiangjun in the paint. So that's definitely going to change up the equation for the Pilots. You also don't want to shoot and make this three too early if that's the route they go, leaving the Braves with a chance to hit a game winner on them. Ethan, the inbounder, on the 28-foot marker. Then Xiangjun catches up top. Foul by the Braves as the Pilots trying to get a continuation, and they might have a case. Maybe they'll run the same exact play though, as Ethan will head toward the other sideline. Guan Dayo in the far corner, Justin in the short corner. He pops free from the other side. KJ guarding. Here's comes the screen as Chen Xiangjun couldn't even get the shot off, and that looks like it's game over. Braves winning another low-scoring affair, 70-74, and sending the Pilots to 8 straight losses. There in that last quarter, only 10 points by the Pilots really did them in. And Caminos and the staff will have to go back to the drawing board. You see Wu Junxiang catching it cleanly, but he and Ayers trying to get a two-man game going. Probably the worst guy you want guarding one-on-one in KJ, as he's got the extremely smart hands. Looking at it from this angle, it's certainly tough to argue that Wu Junxiang isn't creating contact on the play. Roger Shujinze is trying to get set up with the headset and the microphone to join our post-game coverage with the interview as conducted by Xiao Hu and Qing Jing.
你好。
Asked about the choice to get Singletary back in in the fourth
其实今
quarter.
天领航员的确给我们很大的身体的压力啊，所以让我们在进攻端上面受到很大的限制。那的确他们防守端上面设定非常的好。那我们今天进攻端上面，其实上半场大家都知道，我们只有30几分的得分，并不像富邦打了一个球风。下半场其实就是中场进去有跟麦克稍微讲了一下，希望由他来去做挡人的动作，不要去持球的动作。那他接受了这个建议之后，下半场他打的就比较顺，因为以其他队友先为发动点嘛，然后让他去做一些助攻的角色。那当然最后的调度是希望我们当时落后到10分，然后 Z 在上面其实是防守，然后攻不进，所以我们必须让我们会攻的全部都放上去。所以当时派了志杰跟中线，然后再加派麦克。那好在后面分数有拉回来。
Roger sharing that at halftime they suggested having Singletary play a little off ball, create more opportunities for the team, and of course the defense was the main key. Now asked about the young players.
应该就是渐入佳境吧，因为我可能对他们要求会更高一点。不过的确，中超让他们有上场的机会，然后同时在那边对手也给我们很大的压力。那包含石伯恩啊、桂宇，然后廷照大家都有看到，我希望他们能够进步再快一点。
Roger, ever disciplinary, wanting the young players to improve even faster, especially after their opportunity to see things overseas in Okinawa and Utsunomiya before.
当然啦，因为其实我们如果大家仔细看我们前面15场，我已经给年轻的很多的机会，可是我们当时成绩并不好。后来年后之后，我做了一些调整，老将要重新再上来，然后刚好有一个东超的磨练，也让年轻的知道他们哪里不足啦，然后老将去带领他们，然后后面年后我们才可以越打越好。
Roger sharing that. Now the youngsters know what are their shortcomings, and in the final stretch, they can count on their veterans to take them the rest of the way.
其实他没有任何问题，原因是因为他在6月份开过一次刀，然后大家如果仔细去翻他的以前的历史啊，就是他在每一个赛季没有打过一个赛季是完整的，没有受伤的。所以其实我今年给他一个任务，就是你整个赛季不能给我报病号，不能有受伤的一个情形，这是我对他的一个期许。那时间上面我会慢慢加给他，最重要是我希望他这个赛季是完整的赛季，不能有受伤的一个状况。谢谢。
Thanks to Roger joining our post-game coverage. We'll be going to one last break before wrapping things up, where the Braves are victorious over the Pilots. $77-74 is the final, as the Braves now more than getting a little bit of revenge on the Pilots for breaking their win streak. They send the Pilots to an 8-game losing streak, and now 8 games of their 13 losses in the second half of the season have been within 5 points. Now, a lot could be said about that last possession, but Justin getting the screen and roll and trying to get off the 3. Maybe a curious choice, as the Braves can easily set up and they didn't get any momentum or movement to create a corner 3 opportunity. And of course, as I mentioned the last bit before the end, a 23-10 fourth quarter is also not acceptable, whether it's the players on the court or the way the coaching staff managed that entire frame. Having a comfortable almost lead at the end of the third quarter, having wrestled that momentum back from the Braves in the third quarter. And so those are the runs that have really killed the Pilots in all these games that they've lost by a close margin. In the end, the leading scorer for the game, 16 points apiece for Washburn and Ayers. As we preview the Saturday games, it's Lioneers versus the Steelers down in Fengshan Stadium. And it's the New Taipei Kings against the Pilots here in Taoyuan. So it doesn't get easier for the Pilots, having lost to the second place team tonight and taking on the #1 team. It's been a very eventful season for especially the Pilots, but they've certainly been playing hard, but the execution and the focus has got to be better. Maybe the play calling as well, if you were to ask this broadcaster. So on behalf of the 6 teams in the league and the league operations, thank you for watching this broadcast, and we'll catch you in the next one.